Hi Taurus, welcome to your June 2020 reading. Thanks for joining me. My name is Michelle. This is for Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus signs. Special welcome to my podcast listeners on Apple and Spotify. Taurus, let's get started with your reading. The overall energy that I'm picking up here is one of coming into a great time of manifesting power. Of course, you've got a few choices around you. I get that for you, it's really about setting the intention of what it is that you truly want to manifest. Now, obviously, there's a feeling around you of wanting to manifest happiness, of course, that's an obvious one. But this involves various roads, being at this crossroads, if you will, being at that fork in the road and having different directions in front of you and not sure of what one to take. Now, some of these roads are dead ends. Some of these roads lead to life lessons that might be hard fought to get to the end of that road. Others of these roads here lead to success, happiness, stability. So I see this going for you, Taurus. It's really just a question of which road you take. Now, ultimately, we've got the Sun card, the Four of Wands, and the Lovers, all in the upright. Beautiful cards here of harmony, balanced relationships, living life somewhere where it's sunny, warm, there's beauty here, and it's very much an environment which leads to a lot of growth. When you think of the sun, of course, the sun is necessary for things to grow, and so is harmony. So things have to be in that balance before they can grow as well. So I see the result. I see the result here is this Four of Wands. I do think that for you, when it comes to manifesting, we've got the Magician card. We also have the Seven of Cups and the Seven of Swords, which speaks to me of being at this fork in the road. Actually, I think that this has more than two forks, to be honest with you. It feels to me like there's several different roads in front that you have a choice of. So really, it's about, I'm not picking it up as fake it till you make it. I think some of you might be tempted to go down that road. It's a road where that you think you want, but it feels to me like a road that once you reach halfway down it, you get to a point where you think to yourself, this doesn't feel right. This isn't me. You feel like a bit of an imposter. So that's what I'm feeling around this. One of these roads leads to this feeling of being inauthentic, fake, an imposter, trying to pretend that perhaps you're something that you're not. It could be you, Taurus, could be someone around you. And that is draining. I get that as very draining energy. It's drained you. I think that you might have already gone down this road, Taurus. I think this is one of the choices you've had there, and you've gone down it, but it hasn't been too far down that road before you've realised that this might have been the wrong road for you to take. I'm picking up the energy around you in the past there of something that really was making you feel good. You were hoping that it was going to lead to something that was going to be fertile ground. But it seems to me like now it seems draining. Something's drained you. And it may be spiritual. I think that you've come to a point of this spiritual awakening, or it's starting to come to light. This more spiritual side of yourself. And I think this path you were taking in the past, what you were thinking of success was more in the material realm. And it was good for a time. It was making you happy. But after taking that road, coming to a crossroads and then choosing another road that was similar to that, I feel, you've realised now that it doesn't feel right. There's still something missing here. And it seems to me to speak of this more spiritual path. It doesn't mean that you're going to suddenly throw away all your possessions and do an Elon Musk here and say, look, I'm going to live out of a paper bag. No, I'm not talking about that. It's not taking it to that kind of extreme, but Taurus, it feels like that kind of energy. Like you're looking around and you're thinking, like, how much of this stuff do I really need? What's important in my life? And you're having this feeling inside that feels uncomfortable because you don't know where it's coming from, but it's like a magnetic pull. And I see you here with the Chariot, actually. I see this as driving your own chariot, driving your own vehicle into the future and not having it drive you. For instance, if I use a car analogy, it's kind of like looking at that beautiful, expensive car for a lot of years and saying that to me means success. That to me means that I've made it. You know, Seven of Swords, faking it till you make it, right? Then you make it and you get that car. And then you realise you're still not happy. I feel like I'm talking to a Taurus who is going through that kind of feeling. Still not happy, even though you have the accoutrement, you know, the fancy stuff. You've already reached quite a bit of a level of luxury. And Taurians, of course, are known for that. Comfort, luxury. They like that. But Taurus, it seems like after spending so many years kind of aiming for that success and what that meant to you, you're now thinking, well, is this really success? Maybe I've been going towards something that I thought was going to make me happy, but actually feels kind of empty. So I think for you, you're coming to this point in your life when you're needing to make different choices. And rather than have that luxury car driving you, you want to get in and be your own vehicle. It's like using your own mind here, your own intuition as well, and seeing where that takes you. You know, I've got the card of Rhea, and Rhea is a card of protection. So I do feel that if you take a leadership role in your own life here, you take the challenge and say, look, you know, maybe there's a better way for me, a different kind of road. You're being protected from spirit. Now, that doesn't mean that you can be the fool there and just go off with that paper bag, as I was saying there. No, you have to make good choices, and you have to use the experience, the wisdom that you've gained over time to make considered risks, considered choices. And as long as you do that, and as long as you protect yourself from outside influences that could be negative, you know, I do see down some of these roads here, some of these could lead to, they're very deceptive roads. They may look good, but once you go down that road, you find out that there was deception there, illusion. It wasn't what it seemed. So there's a need to have that protective barrier around you. And that's not to say that you should build up such a strong wall that you don't let anyone in on this journey. I feel it's a journey that you're just starting here in this chariot. It's not that. It's just more about being cautious and making sure that you don't lose sight of what you've gained over your life's experience, and don't just throw caution to the wind here and say, okay, well, you know, I'm just selling all my all my things and off I go into the world. No, it's not about that. It's about measured risks, being careful, cautious, but at the same time recognizing that there's something more. And I feel it has to do with something that feels more connected to your soul, the soul's journey. It's not about money, and it's not about fancy cars, and it's not about having things. It's about you being yourself and not feeling like you're fake, and not feeling that you're trying to be something that you're not, Taurus. I also have the card of fruit bat and flying fox. And this is a feeling here of kindness. So I do think that, sure, you'll meet some people down these roads, these choices that you have in front of you, that you need to protect yourself. But you'll also find people who are kind and supportive. You just have to be able to use your discernment to look and see which ones are which. I think they'll be quite apparent to you, actually. For some of you, this could be about business, going down a different road here, a business that is more to do with something that you feel that soul tie to. And if you're needing to find out information or do research, gain some information, there's a need to protect yourself from people who could take advantage of someone perhaps who's a bit green in a particular area and doesn't know their way around, is a newcomer. But you'll also find supportive people. Kindness, it isn't always the easy way, but kindnesses generally always are repaid. So there's a real energy around this of treating others with kindness and have them treat you the same way. Repaying your debts, spreading the seeds of goodwill. Very much a feeling around this of sharing, not being closed off. The thing is, the thing that I'm getting around you here is that there's been this closed off feeling around you, Taurus. It's kind of like you've reached this point of success and you are very much holding on to that and not letting anyone close. Too much protection. Keeping people out as a barrier, saying don't come close, I don't want anyone to take what I have. But that feels to me, it seems to me that there's at least maybe one person around you who's kind of this guiding star energy. I've got this card of leadership. Is kind of showing you the way, pointing in the right direction, showing you kindness, but you've kept them out, Taurus. You've kept them away. Where if you want this person's help and if you want their support in the future, I think you'll be a little bit annoyed at yourself for having done that. So there's a real need here to repay someone's kindness. If they've been kind to you, be kind back. There's no need to be nasty, or there's no need to be standoffish or arrogant or anything like that, because I do think that whoever this person is, their heart's in the right place. I get them as a kind individual, someone who may be quite open, and maybe that makes you feel a little bit worried and thinking, well, why is this person being kind to me? I get for some of you Taurians, that's the mindset. Why is this person being kind to me? I don't really trust this. But they're just trying to be nice. They're just trying to open up here and kind of offer their support in this new venture here that I think you're going towards, this new life, because they know that you're dealing with stuff. Now, when it comes to the communication, I do feel this energy around you of, if the communication has been blocked around this support person, someone who's been kind, because you haven't trusted them. I get that eventually you will open up. But it's about this journey that you're on, Taurus. So let's see. I'm going to pull some cards from the Lenormand deck. And let's clarify. We'll start with the Sun card. I'll pull one per position. Yeah, it's someone who's kind of like it's not that they're trying to take a leadership role, it's just that they're kind of like the guiding star, the North Star, the thing that points the way. But yet you haven't trusted this person, I don't feel. So let's have a look. The Sun card, we have the Moon. Okay, Sun and the Moon together. Yeah, I do think that on the surface of it all, it looked really like you had the life. It looked like you had a very successful life. But underneath that, I think that there were a lot of the emotional side of you was kept hidden from view. We have the Four of Wands and the Whip card. So yes, I do think that there was internal conflict or conflict behind the scenes. So what appeared on the surface was this wonderful life of having everything you could possibly dream of. But I do think that it was hard fought. I do think that you had to work hard for that. And I also think that you probably experienced a lot of money outlay as well, so it's cost a lot, and you feel like this life has kind of been driving you. It's kind of like you've been working to this lifestyle. It's kind of like you've been going to work because you've had to keep up this lifestyle, and I don't feel that you want to do that anymore. We've got the Lovers here with this Bear card. And I'm seeing the polar bear in the bear card, and there's a polar bear also on this card of leadership. So I think that this is the person who's kind. This is the person who's been showing you kindness. They could be a potential love interest around you, or they have been around you as a love interest. Let's see the Magician card. We've got the mice. That's doubt. Yeah, it's kind of like you're doubting. You're doubting. I don't think that you're doubting yourself, though. I feel that you're doubting the road that you've been down recently. It seems to have been the wrong road. Yeah, we've got a lot of confusion with the clouds on the Seven of Cups, these choices, these different roads that are in front of you. I feel that you've gone down the wrong road, and it makes you feel bad. We've got the Seven of Swords with the Key card. So this one speaks to me of escaping this life of illusion. It feels to me like it's very illusory. Everything looks happy, it all looks successful, but underneath it isn't, and you don't feel that you're being authentic. You don't feel like you're being true to yourself. Meanwhile, there is someone else around you. We've got the Five of Pentacles with the woman here. Now, I feel that this is a person around you, an older female. Could be a mother or a spouse. And this is the person in which I feel that you have this more material relationship. It's all about things. So this is someone that's around you, but it feels empty. It feels spiritually empty. It's more about having things, having the house, the car, all of that. Let's take a look at the Chariot. We've got the birds. Yeah, I do think that you are starting to speak to this person about wanting to do something else, to take a different road, because you feel like you've taken the wrong road here with this person. We have the Page of Swords and the Snake. But I do think that for you, there is some deception around this. Now, are you deceiving this person or are you deceiving yourself? Let's take a look. I want to have a look at this card of Raya, protection. We've got the Fish. Okay, that's that feeling that I was getting about you protecting what you had, the finances that you've built up, money. So it seems like money is an issue here. It's an issue in a relationship that you're in. It all looks happy and like you've got everything that you need. You've got this money, but there's something here that feels disconnected around you. Okay, let's take a look at the Fruit Bat or the Flying Fox, the card of kindness. We've got the Bouquet. Yeah, there's someone around you who's showing you kindness. This is different from this person. There's two people here. We also have the card of this Leadership. And the Tree, it's the health, it's spiritual health. So there's one person here that feels more spiritual, that maybe doesn't have as much money as this person. And then you've got another individual here who you've been with, going down the road of this lifestyle of going to work in order to afford this lifestyle. But that feels to me like you want to escape that. But you're very confused about the choices that are in front of you. But you are being guided down this more spiritual path. There is someone who is pointing the way, expressing kindness and support towards you. But I do feel that you're being deceptive. I don't feel that you're revealing to this person who's being kind to you what's going on in your life. I don't think you're even talking about it to people. I do think that for you're starting to open up to one of these people, though. I don't know which one it is, to be honest. It could be to the kind person, because I did get that energy around you of eventually opening up to them. But it feels deceptive, because you also have this other person in the background who I think may have been there for some time. Whew, and there is money associated with that person. So Taurus, let's get a card here from the Twin Tarot Oracle. So really what I'm picking up around this is that you've got two people, maybe a choice of love partners, certainly a choice of two individuals around you. One feels more practical in nature. The other feels more spiritual. And I feel that you're moving away from the one here that is more money related and moving more towards the spiritual person. But you feel deceptive, like you're deceiving the other person here now. So let's see, Taurus, this may be you, could be someone around you. If you're cross-watching, this could be a Taurus that you're dealing with. Let's get a card from the Twin Tarot Oracle. Message for Taurus, please. What does Taurus need to hear? Message for Taurus. Message for Taurus, please. We've got the Strength card, but it's in the shadow side. So let's take a look at that one. Strength. When we talk about strength in the reverse, it can mean feeling like a bit of a, it's that feeling like you're being cowardly. It's kind of like the cowardly lion. That's how I'm seeing this picture of this lion here for my podcast listeners. Finding that inner strength, finding that courage to move forward. I do think that you are being urged to find that courage within to overcome and take a road here that feels more like going out the front door rather than the back door. Because it seems to me like you're trying to take an escape route, or you're trying to slip out the back, and it feels a bit cowardly, rather than standing up to this person around you and expressing yourself in a strong way, but not a bullying or a controlling way. It's just by being who you are and expressing your own needs in a very direct and compassionate way. Compassion for how this other person may feel if you are leaving them behind. So Taurus, that's the energy that I'm feeling around you. You don't want to be cowardly here. I think that you want to go out the front door. You want to do this the right way. But there is this feeling around you of a little bit of, it's not exactly fear, but it's more about just trying to do it an easier way without the confrontation. But I think that a confrontation here might be inevitable. Even if you leave this way and then you have to experience some kind of conversation with this person in the future. So better to do it up front, I feel, than do this escape route and then try and explain yourself later, which I feel could be on your mind. That might be the choice here when it comes to escaping this and going towards this other thing. I feel like this is towards the end of June, maybe going into July, August. I don't feel that this is imminent. This seems to me more about opening up and starting to express yourself to one of these people, which I feel is the one that's more spiritual. So that's going to happen in June, but I do feel that actual movement won't take place until later, because you do have choices here, Taurus, that you're still sorting through. So that's your message. I do hope it's helped. If you'd like a personal reading, you can email me, gypsyinsights@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening, my podcast listeners on Apple and Spotify. If you're watching here on YouTube, please do press that thumbs up button. Join me as a new subscriber. I'd love to have you. And please do share me on your social media. Wishing you the best, Taurus. Please take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.